Welcome back once again. So in this lecture, you're going to learn about the instant experience function. Basically, what it is a mobile function only that allows your audience, whenever they see your ad, to get a full screen experience of the ad itself. There are some advantages to this and there are some disadvantages as well, and we're gonna go through those right now. Let's dive in. So scrolling down, the one thing that pops up as we go below the single image or video that we chose here is the Ad Instant Experience, right? So all we need to do in order to activate it is click on this button right here. It's going to activate it and we're going to be getting a bunch of different options. So before we dive into all of this good stuff, let's look at what an instant experience actually is. So by using our ads guide, all we need to do is scroll down, look at the instant experience here, and then just click on it, right? So scrolling down, we can see that an instant experience is a mobile full screen experience. It looks like this. And as you can see, this is a complete full screen experience that you can have on your ads rather than just having this square or this piece of text, etc. So you can have an instant experience, or in other words, a full screen experience with videos, with single images, with carousels, with most formats. This is going to be available for you. So there are some advantages and there are some disadvantages about that. Let me show you what I mean about that. So if you scroll down, one of the first things that you're going to notice when you activate this is that it says instant experience views are now being optimized. So what does that mean? Well, adding an instant experience means your landing page optimization will optimize for views of your instant experience. This is really bad news if we have a store or if we have a really optimized product page or landing page that we want to drive traffic to, right? Because that is why we chose landing page as the optimization for our ad delivery, right? Because we want to get as many people as possible to our landing page. Now, the problem with this is that Facebook is going to say, hey, I know that you want to get people to your landing page, but if you are going to use instant experience, we're going to optimize and make sure that people actually click on getting your instant experience. So there's no guarantee whatsoever that people will actually go and load your website, right? So another disadvantage is that the instant experience is often slightly more expensive. This is not always true, but in most of the cases, in my experience, they tend to be more expensive. So what are the benefits of using an instant experience? Well, for one, they are unique and beautiful. If you have any design talent on your team, yourself, or if you just have some great material with you, the instant experience can be pretty mind-blowing and it can really take your brand to the next level. Another great advantage here is that you get some templates. So as you can see, there are 3 templates here, all which are free for us to use. And one of them, and what they allow you to do is pretty much a lot of the time create a landing page for you. So if you don't have a very pretty landing page to really showcase your product or showcase the service that you have to offer, well, then this instant experience can give a very different experience about that and kind of make up for that, right? So there are 3 different templates that we have available here. We have the customer acquisition, which is another word for generating leads. Encourage new customers to discover your brand and product with a mobile landing page that encourages action. We have storytelling. This is pretty much awareness, just showcasing what your brand is all about. Gives people an engaging way to explore your brand, product, or service, right? So this is probably going to be more useful for us when we are trying to display a service or a product rather than just our brand, because our brand always comes with showcasing our product or service anyway. And then this, which is actually one of the more useful ones, that is sell products without a catalog. You're going to learn what a catalog is later on. So basically, create a mobile shopping experience by uploading your product info instead of using a catalog. I would argue that selling products using the instant experience is one of the most useful ways of using the instant experience themselves, right? So starting off, I just want to show you kind of how this works. So we're going to start off by this landing page for customer acquisition. Now, to use the template, all I need to do is click on this template, and I'm going to be getting a couple of different options. So this is a template because these are already set up for us. All of these different options are already set up. We can create our own. We're going to go through that in a second, but here they are set up for us. So as you're gonna notice that even though up above we chose a single image, when it comes to instant experience, you're not limited anymore. So here we can have an image or we can have a video and then a destination URL, meaning the URL that you write in here is where they will end up when they click on here. We can add in a text here, and that is going to be where it says add context, and then we have another text that's going to be shown right below here. It's very easy to find just to see where it is and match them. And then we have a button, right? You can write something and then a destination. So let's say that this was a service and you're selling a hotel breakfast. You could say book now on this. And then when you have the instant experience, you would click there, you might put in a destination where you have your booking system, right? So that would be a great way to be using this. And then scrolling down, we actually have a carousel here. And a carousel means that it's interactive. So that means that I can move them around like this. Pretty handy, right? So we get different cards here that we can edit ourselves. So that means that we can replace the image by clicking here, choosing our own. We can also add in the destination URL. So if I click on this image, I'm going to end up in one place. If I click on this image, I'm going to end up in another place, etc., because they have different URLs, one of the big benefits of using carousels. And once again, you can add in a text. You know where this text is because you can just match it, and then you have a button, right? You can use this one right here, and then where they're going to end up if they use the button. We're going through this briefly because we're not going to be using this so much right now. We're going to be optimizing for our landing page instead. This is going to be the most useful for most of you. But I want you to understand how this works so that you can split test and experiment this with yourself. Most of the time, in my experience, these tend to not be that successful, but with some really great design skills and with the right audience, they can be quite useful. So if you want to see the way this looks like, you need to click up here where it says mobile preview and then click on preview on Facebook. Remember, this is a mobile only experience. So when you click here, you're not going to get anything on your screen. Instead, what you need to do is that you need to go to your cell phone. So now I'm going to go to my cell phone here. I'm going to log into my Facebook, and then on my Facebook, when I go up to notification, it says your instant experience is ready to preview. I just clicked on it, and we can see right here the way it looks like, and I can scroll it through. And if the buttons were added, I could click on those buttons and I would end up in the destination that I had added in there. So in other words, you can always preview this on your cell phone, because remember, it's for cell phones only. Very important to do. And then once again, we have different ones. We also have one for storytelling, but even more interesting, we have one for selling products. So the one for selling products is something that we might use later on, because as you can see by scrolling down here, you get to showcase your products, and then with a buy now button, you can move either directly to a checkout, a payment, or move them to the landing page where they actually are, and you can see them on the landing page as well. But the great thing with this is that if you don't have a website, but you do have a PayPal, for example, you could add in a PayPal checkout so they could buy directly from here, and this would turn into your landing page rather than having them go from one to another landing page right away. So your creativity limits where this goes, right? And then finally, if you want to build your own, all you need to do is go down and click on build a custom instant experience. You click on there and then you get to build your own. So all you need to do is click on add component and then add in what it is that you want to add. So let's say that we're going to use a header. I click on a header and then I add it in, and then I can upload that image. I can also set the settings here. Do I want the theme to be light? Do I want the theme to be dark? Do I want to swipe to open a link? On, off? And similarly, I just add in more components. So let's say that I want to add in a carousel in here. Click on OK, and this is nothing new, right? This is basically you upload the image and then the website where they're going to end up when they click on it. And once you're done, you can either save it down and then you can mobile preview and check it out yourself. We're not going to focus too much on this for two reasons. One, we're not going to use instant experience that much. And two, the templates works really, really great. I would rather focus on using them than building your own. But know that these are available to you and you can play around with these. But I dare to say that especially building your own instant experience is a more advanced feature. Focus on getting quality ads out there instead of focusing on these kind of, I believe, are a bit of a sidetrack when it comes to learning proper ads. You can play with these later on in your journey, but now you know how they work, and these templates are definitely something to play with. And then once you've created and saved them down, you can click on use existing right here. And something that's also worth mentioning is that these are not just limited to landing pages. You can also use the instant experience for augmented reality. And augmented reality, like you probably already experienced on Facebook or Snapchat or whatever your favorite social media tool is, it's basically when you use the camera, you can see yourself, but then you augment that reality. You add in a form of computerized graphic that is going to affect what you see on the screen, right? There are templates for this as well that you can click on, that you can play with. It's currently in beta, but I think that this is going to grow in a couple of years. It hasn't grown yet. It's not that big. And honestly, I think that most people are not going to be willing to play with these for a while. I would rather focus on going the direct path of making some killer ads, focusing on optimizing for those ads and getting people to your landing page and then selling the product or service that you have. But I want you to be aware of what these are and how they work. So those are the adding an instant experience and how instant experiences work. They are mobile only. And again, I argue that the biggest problem with them is this. It means that your landing page optimization will optimize for views of your instant experience rather than your website. A problem in my opinion, but once again, play around with these. But for now, we're going to click on this one to remove the instant experience, and then we're going to continue on and designing our ad. All right, see you in the next lecture.